Keys to Miami podcast. I'm here with Antoanela.
Yes, that's
Right?
correct.
You are a personal chef. How would you describe it?
I am a personal chef. I work for private people, so yeah, I work for private people.
Yeah, and so you originally from Romania. You studied in Switzerland. That's where you studied your original.
Yeah, so let me introduce myself like in a little more. So I'm from Romania. I was finished International Culinary Center as a school in New York. Then also I finished a school in Switzerland, with but everything is all about like food. Yeah, culinary.
Yeah, yeah, and then you came to New York. And
I
then,
come to New York about like 9 years ago. I live in New York about like 6 years, 6 year and a half. Then I was like back and forth Miami, New York. So I falling in love with Miami, the magic city. Like everybody wants to be here, right?
yeah,
So this is who I am, and voila.
yeah. So what made you choose that kind of career path as a chef?
So why I choose my career is like because I always like food. Like
Don't we all?
yeah, but like me, I was like it like maybe it's because of my grandma because I always stay with her and she's like old fashioned like with the
Yeah.
food. So I know everything what comes from grandma. And all these things they call it these days like farm to table. I was trained with farm to table in New York.
Okay.
So
And what does that mean? Like farm to table? Explain.
okay, so when you say farm to table, is exactly like the old-fashioned cooking, like our grandma they used to cook. So basically, these days they try to get back to not to use a lot of like conservants.
Yeah.
Yes, they like when you everything like made it at home, like
Fresh,
like
yeah.
a cozy food, like
Yeah.
because these days everybody wants to eat fast, cheap,
Yeah.
and cozy. But all these things, like if you want to have a good organic things, you cannot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
this is.
And so you were working for major restaurants before you became a personal chef. What were some of the restaurants you worked
I
for?
used to work in New York City for ABC Kitchen, which belongs to Jean Georges. Is a Michelin star restaurant. Then I used to work for Lafayette, Andrew Carmelini. I used to work in Miami for La Petite Maison. All these names which I just mentioned, they are really like one of the biggest in the States.
Yeah, yeah. And so what made you decide to go from being a chef working at big restaurants and then do your kind of become a personal chef?
So I become a personal chef. Like is I love what I do, but in the end of the day, you have to pay the bills.
Yeah,
So our industry is going like more and more like not to be appreciated. Like now, if somebody doesn't have nothing to do, it's going to the kitchen, right? So it's kind of it's going like very bad. Like when you speak about money, they don't really pay you
as
to
well.
so yeah like well to be able to have family or to pay a rent and
Yeah,
yeah. So I decided to go private because one of the things I like to do, and I think I do it great. I like to do a lot of parties, but
Yeah.
with the pandemic right now, it's not like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
no. So this is what I like. I like to do events, and when I do events, I bring opera to my events.
Okay.
So when I say events made it organized by me, let's say good English, right? um, I put together like artists, people like painters, and also I bring to the young generation opera. That's what I do. Like
Okay.
like when you come to my events, even if you don't like opera, for sure you're gonna hear a beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, what made you come up with that theme? Like, why is that the theme that you've chosen to kind of create your events around?
I used to work in New York City with Metropolitan Opera, so I was hired to the event. So then I just falling in love, and then every client I have, I wanted to bring to them opera.
Yeah.
This is this I this
And
is
what kind of people usually hire you? What kind of clientele usually hires a personal chef?
Okay. Personal chef, the way how I work is they are very important people. They are like very high end people.
Yeah.
I did also like a lot of certificate to be able to reach to this
Yeah.
people. Yeah, my clients, they are really big names.
Yeah, yeah. And
Pardon.
how do they find you? Like, how do people know about you?
I think that the best marketing is like um, if I cook for you and you like it, I'm sure that you have a friend and you're gonna talk about me, right?
Yeah.
So most of the clients I have, it's friends to friends and to friends. It's is how you say that in English. I have words by mouth.
Word of mouth.
Yes,
Word of
that
mouth.
that's the way I do.
So it's one of those things that once you're in that network,
Yeah,
and
you are
deliver a
in.
great experience. It's
Yes,
easy to get
yes,
referrals.
yes, and also like my clients, they repeat, so it means I do great my job.
Yeah. And you brought up just like the pandemic and how things have kind of changed, but you also had kind of like an injury at the same time, and you were just telling the story
Yeah,
about
yeah.
how like you hurt your arm and you're in the middle of the pandemic and you've kind of been battling through that, and how do you feel like where you're at now and where you're trying to go? Like, just describe that.
Yeah, so in March I have an accident. I broke my clavicle on my right hand, so basically I cannot really work and I cannot keep my knife.
Yeah.
But having the surgery, I don't really understand that pandemic. It's on the
Yeah.
it's here. But now, when you start to heal, you see around, and I see I don't have my clients anymore because people, they start to be um, scared to bring somebody else on the home,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it was affecting me very much because it's not the same.
Yeah. So do you feel like it's starting to kind of come back? Do you feel like people are starting to reach out, or you still feel like
I was
people
I
are-
was feeling that way like a week when I have a client which he wants to hire me because his daughter, he loves my food, and she's gonna get married. So I said, oh wow, that's fantastic. But guess what? Like 2 days ago, I just find out that the um, the husband of this lady, he just got infected with COVID.
Oh, wow.
So now myself, I prefer not to do any event. Also because my arm, it doesn't permit, but also my team, I wanted to step back because I don't want to take this stress. Because like when you do food, you it's gonna affect me.
Yeah, you
You,
gotta
I,
love it.
I
You
don't,
feel- yeah,
I don't want it to be like how to say. I don't want it to be involved with a big group of people when we have this virus. So
Yeah.
it's kind of
Yeah.
I push it to January. Let's hope for January.
It doesn't sound. I mean, I can relate from marketing because it's one of the things that I have a struggle with clients when clients are just rude or aggressive. I don't really want to work on their marketing.
I don't.
If there's some
I'm
kind of
super
Tug and pull. So I know how you're saying. Like, if you don't really feel the feeling,
Yeah,
it
thank
may
you.
sound like you just do the job, but if you're not really feeling,
I
it,
do I do food, but I do food with love,
Yeah.
right? I'm not. That's one of the reason also I went away from the restaurant, because food is coming with love, right? If I wanted to feel good when I put a plate out, because I really do I really love what I do.
Yeah.
So I don't want nobody to stress me, and I don't want to work on pressure. I used to work on pressure when we have to do like a 400 covers at the lunchtime. New York is really like let's go.
Yeah.
So I come out from that stress. I want to just do food because food is love,
Yeah.
right? So that's why I go more and more private.
Yeah. Is there any advice you'd want to give someone that is starting their own business or even just trying to get into the food industry, be a chef? Like, give advice on just how they should do it?
I wanted, like, like all these days, like everybody, as I tell you, like for the beginning, they are chefs or they do food. If you want to take this as a profession, you really have to study. You really have to study. Like, if you ask me, like, what I like to cook, I'm gonna say to you, I like to cook organs from animals, right? Like, I really like to do that because, but this is because I was studying. Everybody wants to be a chef, but like, take it from the barrel, go there and learn and study, because it is like that. Not everybody they can cook, but to be a chef and to be able to help this planet and to help the farmers to use all the product, you have to start from the bottom, and you have to love what you do. Definitely. I mean, yes, sorry. I said, like, everybody say, oh, I love food. I know you love to eat, but
I love to eat.
yeah,
I don't love to cook, but I love to eat.
but like if you do this as your profession, you need to how say to teach people not to waste, because there are so many people down there, they don't have food. Right? So myself, Antonella, I love to cook organs and to bring to the table and educate you that also you can eat heart, kidney, brain, from animals. It's just that it's not our education to eat it.
Yeah. And if someone wanted to contact you, how would they find you?
They can find me on my Instagram, Antonella Alexander, on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, there they can find me.
So I think it's a good episode. Is there anything else you want to add before we go?
I don't know. It's just a pleasure. It's just like our first time meeting each other.
Yeah.
I think I speak a lot, like la 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 la.
No, it was a good
Yes,
interview.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. It's really very, very friendly and very, very cool.
Awesome.
And it's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you. Thank you.